Alright, so since I got a decent amount of feedback from my last tutorial, I decided I'm gonna keep going, make some more of them, help you guys out, see what you think. Also, sorry for the giant lapse between this video and the last one. My camera kinda stopped working, so borrowing one from a friend. Now, the tutorial I'm gonna do is on basic setups, alright? Without setups, you don't really have tricks. I'm just going to go through a couple of them, just basic ones. Not really going to get into anything too crazy with setups, just some basic ones to, help you guys out a little bit. So the first one I'm going to go over is probably my favorite. It's a cheat setup. As of the last tutorial, I explained this briefly. I'm going to kind of re-go over that one again here. I'm going to start with that one. Now, the cheat setup really is just kind of spinning around in a circle. If you're a left twister, you're going to take your right leg, you're going to step all the way over 180 degrees, okay? After that first spin, then you're going to continue to twist in the same direction to your left, looking over your left shoulder until you can spot your target again. Once you spot your target, you're going to take your left leg, you're going to lift it up, pointing it at your target, okay? So, one more time, just stepping over, right leg over left, 180 degrees, look over your shoulder, point knee to target, okay? And like I stressed in my last video, or at least I think I did, I don't remember, you always want to have a target. No matter if someone's holding a focus target for you, or if there's anything in front of you that you can spot, you want to keep your eyes on that until you're forced to look away from it, from twisting. And you just want to keep referring back to that target as you're doing, your tricks. So, one last time, cheat setup, okay? Spotting my target. You can start from, if you're, a martial artist, you want to start from like a fighting stance. It doesn't matter. Either way, you want to step so that you're not facing your target with your body. You're going to look over your shoulder, continuing in the same direction, knee up, and there's your cheat setup, okay? That's the basics of it. When you go through it, you just step over, up, all right? Basic setup. Now, to do any kind of tricks out of that, you're going to want to jump as well as lifting your knee up. You're going to want to jump and kind of time that just right. The more you do it, the better you get at it, really. You just kind of have to play with it and see how you feel in the setup. All right? So after you step, bend your knees a little bit. Don't stay too wide. Bend your knees. Now when you turn, you're going to look over your shoulder. You're going to jump onto your right leg here. You're going to jump as you're bringing your left leg up, okay? Which gives this effect to it. Jump, all right? And there's your cheat setup. If you already know like a tornado kick, it comes out of that setup. Yeah, you really just want to practice. I mean, even if you can do more than just a tornado kick out of that setup, tornado kicks are really good practice for doing your setup while you're trying to spot your targets. So yeah, that's your cheat setup. The next one I'm going to do is a pop setup. Normally you do these out of like pop 360s, so on and so forth, 720s, whatever. Fei Long's one of my favorites. Now the pop setup is, it's similar but it's different from that cheat setup. It's similar in the sense on how you turn, but it's different because you're taking off of two legs. Your cheat setup, you're technically really only taking off of one. Pop setup, you're going to be taking off of two. Here's the basics of your pop setup, okay? You're facing, again, you're going forward, you're facing this direction, okay? From here, I normally like to start kind of at a 45 instead of just dead on. At a 45, all right? You might see people running into this. That doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is your last two steps, okay? The first step kind of comes out straight on that 45, all right? And then the second step comes around, kind of like a C, all right? You make a little C and kind of hop out, all right? Now, if you notice, I'm sideways. I am no longer facing towards my target here. I am also no longer facing 45 degrees over here where I was. Now my body is facing here, okay? But through the entire time, you want to be looking straight ahead at that target, all right? And that's the basics of a cheat setup. Or not a cheat setup, sorry, pop setup. So again, start forward, go to your 45, all right? Step out, right leg, left leg, make your C, and hop, okay? Now again, this is from a left twister's point of view on a pop setup, okay? Now when you do that pop setup, there's some specifics on kind of how your feet should go that is going to make it a little bit harder, all right? First of all, for that first step, okay, when you do this here, all right, after you take that step, you're bringing your left leg up. Do not set it down with your foot there, all right? What you want to do is when you do that little C with your feet, it doesn't even touch the ground. You go from here, and you're going to do a little C and then step, all right? Which kind of show you here. Step out, foot comes around, and you hop sideways, okay? Now, as you go into that sideways step there, that extra, that C-step leap or skip kind of motion there, when you do that, as you're coming into it, your knees should be bent, all right? You don't want to come into this setup and go, then bend your knees, all right? It's not as efficient. You might as well just stand there from your front side, twist and do whatever trick you're going to do, okay? You want to kind of imagine that you're like a spring. So if this is the floor, okay, and you do your C-step, you're coming in at an angle. As your feet hit the floor, your knee should start to bend, all right? And then once your feet meet together, you spring up, all right? So that's pretty much it on the pop setup. And then the last one is a butterfly setup. The butterfly setup, I mean, obviously is going to be used for butterfly kicks or, butterfly twists. I also use them for aerials. It just kind of gives you a little bit more momentum to swing or jump into things. So the butterfly setup, really not so complicated. I'm actually going to take this over here. All right. Now, the butterfly setup, if I'm going in this direction here, I'm going to be moving in this direction, okay? I'm going to start off with my left leg forward. I'm kind of sideways, but I know I'm going in this direction. So I'm going to keep my left leg forward, all right? After that, I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to step all the way over that 180 degrees, almost like that cheat setup, but I'm not spotting here. I'm going to be going this way, all right? So take that first step, all right? Now, after you do that first step, your second, you're going to kind of pivot, spin it backwards, all right? Now I'm facing the opposite direction from where I started. That left leg, okay, that was, back here, that left leg, all right? You're going to throw it back and just step backwards, okay? Now from here, you can kind of really do just about anything out of it. If you're going to do a butterfly kick or a butterfly twist, you're going to dip down this way, okay, and come up. But if you're doing like a cartwheel to get more momentum or an aerial, you're just going to kind of go this way. But either way, that's pretty much just the butterfly setup, okay? It's just step, throw it back, and go, all right? not really going to get into those tricks yet. I will do a tutorial for butterfly kick and aerials out of a butterfly setup. But for now, I just wanted to do just basic setups. All right. So yeah, thanks for watching. And again, any questions, leave a comment or whatever, and I will try to get back to you guys. So doing another tutorial in a second, but thanks again.